Good morning. In our devotional today, there were two different groups in Jesus' time. There were the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They made up the two primary sects of Judaism. One of the things that was so interesting was these groups were very diverse. For instance, the Pharisees tended to be very legalistic, ritualistic, whereas the Sadducees, they denied anything pretty much supernatural. So they take the resurrection, for instance. They didn't believe in that you could have a bodily resurrection, and so when Jesus rose from the dead, obviously this was very hard for them to accept. Even though these two groups, though, even though they were so diverse and sparred with each other a number of times, they did unify in their hatred against Jesus Christ. And here is the primary reason why. If you read this passage that we're talking about today, these groups, they pointed back to Abraham, and because Abraham was such a godly man, their forefather, they're thinking that because we have this religious identity, that we're in good standing with God. And they pointed to their ancestry, their godly heritage, as a means of saying we're in good standing with God in the present today. It's funny, a couple thousand years later, and we're still doing the exact same thing. How many times do you run into a person and they talk about, well, I'm fill in the blank. This is the religious group that I grew up in. I'm a religious person. I'm a person of faith. Lines like this. And really, in some respects, what they're saying is, my identity with God kind of comes with my cultural upbringing, but they don't have a personal relationship with God. I just want to challenge you. If you're someone who maybe you've just grown up in an environment where you just always accepted that there is a God, that doesn't mean that you have a personal relationship with God. That's the key reason why Jesus' message made all the difference back then, and it still makes all the difference today. When you accept Jesus Christ into your life as your Lord and Savior, everything changes. You go from just looking at being a religious person, but you switch to being a person that has a direct relationship with the God of the universe.